Win Monday Nation. What is going on? This is the latest episode of the Win Monday podcast, Paul's Take. On the heels of a fire conversation with Ashish Advani. If the name is not familiar, you'll have to go back and listen to the episode. But let's just say that if we were to look up his resume, he has sold a company to head of the Virgin Group, Sir Richard Branson. Today, he is CEO of JA Worldwide, which stands for Junior Achievement Worldwide, serving over 100 countries. And when we recorded the episode, it was literally on his book launch day, co-authored with none other than Marshall Goldsmith, who has coached one-to-one nearly half of our Fortune 100 leaders. The title of the book being Modern Achievement, a new approach to timeless lessons for aspiring leaders. So go back, listen in on that. Epic insights, tactics, motivation, inspiration, the whole thing. And here's the take that Ashish inspired. We were talking about big things like purpose and impact and legacy. And those things can seem so distant at times, or they can seem so conceptual. How do we win Monday when something feels warm and fuzzy and out of reach? Sometimes it feels like we're out of touch. But then when I asked him, what's the number one way that we can insert purpose into our life? What's the number one way that we can win Monday? He had a phenomenal insight. Make other people's goals your own. I will repeat that. Make other people's goals your own. In other words, when we want to know, is this a place or a person where I can lean into and I feel a greater sense of purpose, a greater sense of contribution, a greater sense of impact? Is this going to leave behind a legacy that I am proud of? And the number one litmus test, and I love this because it gets into the roots of our emotions. It gets into the roots of our feeling. If you ask me, it gets into the roots of our heart and soul. Because when I think about whether it's a boss or my kids or a spouse or a job or my team or my company, if I were to make those people's things my goal, my boss's goals become my goal, my spouse's goals become my goal, my kids' goals become my goals, my team's goals become my goals, my company's goals become my goals, do I feel it in my heart? Do I lean in? Is it a hell yes? And if it is, then what a beautiful way of feeling a greater sense of purpose, of contribution, of impact, of making a difference. By making other people's goals your own, you're leaving people in places better than you found them. And that's a legacy that you're going to be proud of. So rather than think about these highly conceptual things like purpose, or even if I just said winning, how do I know if I'm winning? One way that we can dig into the litmus test of whether we feel purpose in a person or a place and whether we want to drive impact and how do we win, this is the take. Make other people's goals your own. And the number one action, the only action that's going to come out of this take to make this a reality is you have to ask. Ask the people that are around you, what's your number one goal that you're focused on right now? And as you listen, you make it your own. If this is a green light, if your head and your heart are fully on board, then their goal will ignite you. It'll get you out of bed. You will feel connected to it. You will feel drawn to it. So action for this take. Ask somebody, whether it is spouse or kids or boss or in a team meeting or the CEO of your company, whoever it is, what is the number one goal that you're focused on? And then you make that goal your own. And behind that curtain is where you can find purpose, significance, impact, legacy, all of that. And now we're on our way, starting by winning on Monday. Make other people's goals your own. That is the latest episode of the Win Monday podcast. Hope you enjoyed Paul's Take.